Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kat. At the time of this recording, it is 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to all those who celebrate. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and to those who don't celebrate, I hope you're having a safe and fun Saturday nonetheless, and please be safe on the roads. During these holidays, I don't like to be on the road, and this particular holiday happens to be on a Saturday, so to everyone, please be safe and careful. In today's video, I will be doing my TBR for the months of July, August, and September. There are about, I think, 5 books that I did not read for my previous TBR. Those are Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, Lock and Key by Sarah Dessen, Glass and Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, and Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray. Let me get right into my TBR pile. So first and foremost, I have Red Rising by Pierce Brown. As you can see, I have my bookmark already in here. I'm actually going to be starting this book really soon. I'm really excited as I've heard, again, wonderful things about the series. I have heard the first book is probably the weakest, so once you get past this one, that's when the real tension and the story begins. If you have read the Red Rising series, please let me know your thoughts. Then I have the Heartstring Duet, and this is by Liv Zander. We have Crown Me Dead, which is book 1, and Crown Me Yours, which is book 2. I've heard absolutely wonderful things. I have not heard a single bad thing about these books. I have heard that these are a little bit less triggering and less dark compared to Quarter Ravens, so I think I will be pretty safe reading this, but I did hear that it can be kind of gross because there are descriptions of like maggots and pestilence and all these kind of things. I heard this is super emotional and it does pull on your heartstrings. I believe these books are about our main female character who is trying to save her brother who's dying, and she has to marry the king of death. And I think it's an exploration about death and dying and grief and loss and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure it's going to be very sad. I have The Teacher by Frida McFadden. This is my second book by Frida McFadden. The first one was Never Lie, and I did not like it at all. I'm really trying to give Frida McFadden a chance because so many people seem to really like her books. I'm hoping this one may be just a step better and a step above Never Lie. This, I think, revolves around a student-teacher affair that broke out into a scandal. I'm not the biggest fan about reading student-teacher anything. I don't like student-teacher romances. I don't like storylines with student and teachers. Please let me know what other Frida McFadden books there is to read that you guys enjoy that I should definitely pick up. After that, I have a book that I am really excited and looking forward to, but a little scared and intimidated at the same time, and that is The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. This is one of those books that is just a staple in the literary world. It's considered a literary masterpiece. It is a historical fiction story set mainly in Afghanistan. It revolves around 2 boys who are best friends. One comes from like a higher class family and the other one comes from like a serving class family, and then one day something terrible happens to the boy from the serving class family. The other boy runs away from this certain event and he has to live with the guilt, but we fast forward into the future where he's a grown adult and he's given the opportunity to atone. Here it's absolutely beautiful. It's breathtaking in terms of the way it's written, and it is devastating because apparently there are a lot of characters who do die. Obviously, this is set during a war, a very brutal war at that. Then I have another book that I'm definitely looking forward to and excited to get my hands on, and that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This would be my second book by this author. I read 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo earlier this year. Fell in love with it. This author definitely knows how to write suspense and tension and just keeps the audience engaged in the book. That's not always an easy feat for a lot of authors. I think this follows a band, a very popular band that broke up unexpectedly, and we get this book in like an interview format. Different members of this band are interviewed and we learn what happened and what caused this band to break up. Definitely looking forward to diving into this, and really excited to read more by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have a book that I'm not looking forward to, but it is a series that I impulsively bought. I don't have all the books, but I have a chunk of the books of the series on my bookshelf, and I just need to read it and get over it so I can sell them on Pango Books. That is the Nocturne Fall series, and this is book 7 in the series called The Dragon Finds Forever. The Nocturne Fall series basically is about a small town that celebrates Halloween all year round, and it's basically like a touristy town. In this town, there's also supernatural creatures who live in there, and they reside there because they're trying to camouflage camouflage from the world and from humans and all these tourists. Each of these books follow the romance between these different supernatural creatures who live in this town. I love books that center around Halloween and have that sort of vibe to them. As I got into these books, I realized that they're just not for me. It's just so poorly written, and these characters are so shallow, and so I have not had a good time reading them. But I think I have up to book 15 or 16. I know I could just give it away, especially because I'm at this point hate reading it. My thing is, when I buy a book, I feel obligated to read it. That's just my, I guess, philosophy when it comes to reading. The title is pretty self-explanatory. I think it's about a dragon shifter who is going to find love or falls in love with somebody. I have Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I did read Assassin's Blade earlier this year, and I really liked it, and so I'm really excited to continue on. I did have Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight on my last TBR. Fortunately, did not get to touch them. I will try to make it a priority to read this book for sure. Then I have Heartstopper Volume 4 by Alice Oseman. It's been such a lovely time reading about Nick and Charlie. The last book touched upon eating disorders, so I believe this book might go a little bit deeper into that. Definitely enjoy how Alice Oseman writes about mental health, because I know that is something so close and personal to the author, so I have no doubt that Alice Oseman will write it with a lot of care. The artwork is so beautiful, and I feel like it really does capture the innocence and the first crush, first love vibes that our two main characters are experiencing. The last book is set to come out July, so I think this month. And I also have Ballad of Sword and Wine Volume 4. The last volume is going to come out in August, so all these amazing series are coming to an end. This has been such a wonderful series to read. Our two main characters have such great chemistry, and all these characters, there's so much depth and they're so complex. No one is truly good or bad. Everyone has motives. I even call it the Chinese Game of Thrones because it's so intense at times and you don't know who's gonna die. There's no violence against women in this book, in the series so far. That's a relief. It still has like that political intrigue and those complex characters and intricately woven details that Game of Thrones is known for. Then I have a nonfiction book that's been sitting on my shelf for a little bit, and I've been meaning to get to it, but I sometimes forget that I even have it. That is Stephen Hawking's Universe, and this is by David Filkin. I truly love books that have to do with space, that have to do with our universe. I find them so intriguing, and I've always loved it since I was a kid. I haven't read one in such a long time, which is why I picked it up. And finally, the last book, another one that I am so very excited to get to, and that is Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. This is a completed trilogy, and basically it's about our vampire named Gabriel. That's all I know. I do not know anything else about this book. I have heard exceptional things about the series. I've heard amazing things about these characters. It's like a dark, gritty world, and our main character is not like a good person. He's a morally gray character, kind of like an anti-hero. People seem so hyped whenever they talk about it, so it makes me want to just pick it up. It is a chunker. It's like 700 something pages. This is definitely a book that will take some time to get through. That's all I have for my TBR for July, August, and September. Please let me know if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts were, and please let me know what you're reading right now, and let me know what your favorite and least favorite books of the year have been so far. We are just speed running through 2026. Feels like I didn't even get a chance to really enjoy this year, but it's been a great year nonetheless. I hope you guys have, again, a wonderful day, a safe day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!